Join Bob Kolazarik as he welcomes a diverse array of guests to the enlightening talk show, Greetings from the Ashram. In each episode, Bob sits down with experts and practitioners from the world of complementary healing modalities, spirituality, and holistic wellness to delve into the transformative power of these practices. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge therapies, Greetings from the Ashram offers viewers an insightful and uplifting journey into the realms of mind, body, and spirit. So now, please welcome your host, Bob Kolazarik.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Bob Kolazarik, and this is Greetings from the Ashram, and we're streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. And thank you for tuning into our inaugural show. And thank you also for spending an hour of your Friday evening with me, whether watching the live stream or listening on the radio. Really appreciate that. I'm going to try to cover some ground tonight. I'm not sure how much I'll get through. Tonight's about sharing my story, who I am now, who I was, and the transformation that I went through to be where I am today. The purpose of the show, I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about how I'm working in alignment with my higher purpose and how that just started flowing to me, and how my inner purpose is aligning with the purpose of my fellow pranic healers and the group work that we're doing. So we're all part of this group work to spread pranic healing, arhatic yoga, holistic wellness. It's not just Bob Kolazarik, I'm part of a team. But my life is so different than it was 5 years ago. Before I get into that, let me tell you a little bit about the mission and overall goal of this show specifically. Specifically, we are here to spread awareness of pranic healing and arhatic yoga, which is the healing modality and spiritual practice that I follow. Both founded by Grandmaster Chokhak Sui, who was an amazing spiritual teacher, my guru, a guru of countless others around the world. And he left these priceless teachings as his legacy to the world, and they really, truly are priceless. You can't put a price on the gifts of the spiritual growth and the blessings of the healings. You just can't put a price on that. Our goal is to spread awareness of other complementary forms of healings, such as acupressure, acupuncture, aromatherapy, massage, and more. We'll have guests who specialize in various forms of holistic wellness, such as proper self-care, nutrition, and there's a big long list that we want to learn about and share. And there's such a demand by people looking for ways to improve their health and lives. They're looking for something, and they might not even know what they're looking for. And I was that way. I didn't know I was looking for pranic healing and arhatic yoga when I first discovered it. And I discovered it like a lot of other people at a Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within event. This was back in November of 2018. And I learned of Master Co at this event. He was on Sunday. And I tell you what, when I heard Master Co come out, I was like, I don't know who this Tony Robbins guy is, but I am man crushing on this Master Co. I knew right then I had found what I needed to do, the path that I was going to take. You just know. There comes a point in time you just know. And I haven't looked back. I've been going full tilt with my practice ever since. But it's for these people, the ones out searching, that I hope that I could put this beacon of light out there and help guide them into finding a system that works for them. As we grow and heal, we transform. As we transform, our light grows brighter. As our light grows brighter, it brightens up the way for the people around us too. To mix metaphors, the rising tide lifts all boats, right? So as our light continues to grow and the people around us continue to grow brighter, we'll begin to make progress in changing the nature of this world. Eckhart Tolle calls it the new earth, a new level of consciousness and awareness. This new level of consciousness and awareness is coming and has already started. we see that in the number of people out searching for the well-being, for spirituality, and deeper meaning of life. So it comes to, you know the saying, so within, so without. The inner world of most people are polluted with runaway thoughts, negative, self-destructive thoughts, old programs, fears, anxieties, all these lower emotions that just consume us day in and day out. And if our personal inner world, our thoughts and our emotions, which gives us our perception and our reality of the world, if that's in upheaval, so too will our outer world be. The life as we experience it. That's what we're creating for ourselves with our thoughts and our emotions and the perception of what we see. So the problem in the world is the world has a thinking problem. The problems are basically essentially the sum total of the energetic inner world output of about 8 billion souls. So we all contribute to this planetary consciousness through the energy that we put out. So we need to chip away at the output of 8 billion souls. And, we need to assist all the other light workers out there in helping, everybody lights shine brighter. It starts with each one of us doing our own inner work and getting rid of that internal pollution. Anyway, I digress, sorry. The show came to fruition also because of the need and the demand for those who are looking for the holistic health and wellness. People are tired of their current healthcare system and really want to see doctors get more involved in holistic well-being. I certainly do. It's personal for me, and I'll tell you that in a second, but people want to see doctors treat the whole person. They want to know that you have mental well-being, or that at least we think that they care, that we have good mental well-being or emotional well-being, social well-being, not just hand out Band-Aids in the form of a pill. I have type 2 diabetes. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes when I was 40 years old. I'm 59 now, and so 19 years. Diabetes is it gets progressively worse over time. So my medications, it was uncontrolled. I was living a life totally out of balance and not healthy. So I was maxed out on the pills I think it give. And, I wasn't able to lose weight. I had 2 knee replacement surgeries. I had years of knee pain and not being able to really exercise and run. First knee replacement was when I was 45. And the second one when I was 48. So I'm 59 now. But all they want to do is recommend gastric bypass surgery. I don't know, to me, that is super mortifying. And I can't get my head wrapped around that. I just can't. Of course, eat right and exercise, and that's a no-brainer. We all should do that. But the exercise part, well, for me, they make you feel like you're making excuses. But I had 2 really bad knees, and the exercise part can be super tough when you have diabetes. It's tough to maintain proper energy levels. You get a little brain fog. Trust me, I know that struggle, and that struggle is real. I only started to improve with my diabetes when I started to treat my diabetes with pranic healing. I took myself on as a case for the certified pranic healing program. It was one of the certifications that I've received. There's 3 of them, and I'll get into those in a little bit. But I'm 50 pounds lighter and much healthier, much stronger. So that's fantastic. So, but there is such a demand and curiosity about complementary healing modalities. And I mean complementary. I do not mean instead of allopathic medicine. The 2 need to merge. And I know the 2 merging works for me. It has worked for me, and I've been involved in hundreds of cases. And we see just miraculous healings, just so many over the years with the group work and the group healings. And then finally, there's so many people searching for deeper meanings of life and deeper levels of spirituality. They're looking for ways to find happiness and to be fulfilled. To find happiness and fulfillment, you can't find it looking outward. You have to find it from yourself. You need to make yourself happy, and you can't depend on other people to make you happy. So that's the inner work, and that's the goal, and that's the mission of the show. As for me, I'm a pretty laid back guy. I do not take myself seriously day to day. I have a great sense of humor and I do try to keep it light. I like to stay calm and relaxed, at peace. My typical interstate is quite peaceful and calm. I can assure you that. Um, no, I'm not the greatest healer on the planet, although I'm very, very good. I'm not an instructor. We have wonderful instructors, and the instructors program for pranic healing is amazing. It's standardized. Everybody learns the same way. There's a certification program even to be able to be an instructor. I'm thinking about doing it myself, but I haven't quite made that decision. But um, so anyway, there's so many people who are so great in what we do, and I'm just honored to be associated with each and every one of them. Really, I just want to be my honest and most authentic self and share my experiences. And it's in sharing our experiences that we find that others have the same shared experiences. So we should have shared experiences on the journey. We're all walking our own path, but we can all walk it together. There's power in numbers. But as we talk about things, it's important for you to practice discernment. You need to understand what resonates with you and just don't buy into wholesale what anybody's saying. I mean, that's what our guru tells us. You practice discernment, and that is a practice that we have in Aradhak Yoga. So before I get into my backstory as your host, I'm going to tell you who I am now and who I've become over the last several years. I'm the owner of spiritual coaching and healing business, Self-Help Coaching, LLC. I'm a certified pranic psychotherapist. And again, I'll elaborate on that in a little while. As I mentioned, I'm a practitioner of Aradhak Yoga. I took this little blurb from globalpranichealing.com. The goal of Aradhak Yoga is simple: to accelerate the evolutionary process of the soul. I recently became the operations manager of the American Pranic Healing Association, which was launched on September 1st of this year, only 6 weeks ago. Now I'm going to start telling you about the mission of our association, but right now it's time to take a short commercial break. I'm Bob Kolazarik. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. We'll be right back.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. I'm Bob Kolazarik, your host, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. As I was saying before the break, I'm the owner of a spiritual business healing business, coaching business, Arhatic yogi practitioner, operations manager for the American Pranic Healing Association, and who's, by the way, our mission at the association is to advance the profession of pranic healing in the United States by supporting, members to expand in the areas of knowledge, career, and community. Our purpose is to be a single unifying organization of pranic healers in the United States, focusing on all aspects of professional development in order to elevate the image of pranic healing as a profession. And finally, I'm the host of the super successful streaming show, Greetings from the Ashram, whose purpose is to help spread awareness of holistic health and well-being. So when people meet me for the first time, like many people are tonight, they're going to see a person who's in alignment with their soul purpose, right? I'm doing the soul work and loving what I do. And the goals of my business, self-help coaching, the American Pranic Healing Association, and this show, Greetings from the Ashram, are in alignment with my mission, and my purpose. And this is recent development where the universe is just flowing the projects to me that are aligned with my purpose. I mean, things are just really starting to click. And I think that's from doing the practice, putting in the work, doing the service, doing the tithing, doing the things that we need to do to progress and manifest a beautiful life for ourselves. I mean, that's what we're all trying to do. And, I'm having success with that, and my friends are having success with that. So we'll get a little bit more into that. But, I'm also in alignment with our group work, which I'm going to touch upon a little bit briefly tonight. So this is I'm just part of a bigger picture, a bigger community, and to do the work that I have to do to help spread the work too. So we have tools that we develop along the way. One of these is called Kriya Shakti. What is a Kriya Shakti? Kriya Shakti is a higher level workshop on manifestation. It's an awesome workshop, but you need to be an Arhatic yogi practitioner or Arhatic yoga practitioner in order to attend. In fact, I was just at the MCKS Meditation Center in the Catskills in beautiful Bovina, New York last weekend. And there was about 150 of us taking the Kriya Shakti workshop, 150 other soul brothers and sisters. It was absolutely great weekend in a beautiful setting. We'll get some more spiritual gifts from the Wesak are also at play here, in my humble opinion. What is Wesak? It's the most important Buddhist festival, and I'm sure we will discuss Wesak in greater detail in season 2. Season 1, we're going to run through March. Season 2 will pick up in time for the 3 most powerful full moons of the year. In April, we'll have the festival of Easter and the Aries full moon. May will be the festival of Wesak and the Taurus full moon. In June is the festival of Goodwill and the Gemini full moon. Now, I hope to have Master Glenn, Master Marilag, Master Cole, or any other master available to join the show for discourse on these topics, because that's a little over my pay grade. But back to Wesak. Like I said, Wesak is the most important Buddhist festival, and it commemorates the birth, the enlightenment, and the death of the Buddha. It's celebrated in May, and the May full moon of Taurus is the most powerful full moon of the year in a spiritual sense. And what I can say is that gifts are distributed to light workers on the day of Wesak for the work that needs to be done, for the prior year. So every year they distribute gifts. And like I said, that's, I'd love to have one of the masters come and talk about that. First time I had contact with Bold Brave TV happened on the day of Wesak. And I don't think that's a coincidence, honestly. I don't. And what came about of that initial contact is this show, Greetings from the Ashram. So we've been planning on this since May. May 5th was the initial contact. And people ask me if I had any success with Kriya Shakti work. And the answer is most definite yes. And most of my friends, we have success in Kriya Shaktis. Now, I had done a Kriya Shakti for creating a podcast. Somebody put a bug in my ear. I wasn't really thinking about a podcast, but as an entrepreneur, as a business person, you want to be the salesperson. You want to get your message out there. And so it was something that I would just keep, not quite yet, not quite yet. And I was busy working on my certification for pranic psychotherapy. And so I just really set that intention to really work on that, because that was really driving my skill set too. So when that certification ended in April 30th, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do next? And then the show came to my attention like 5 days later. It just adds to the proof of the saying, just trust the timing of your life, and things will just kind of unfold. And I'm honestly just going with the flow. Master Glenn said at the last Westsock that, if you catch a wave, just ride it. But after the Westsock, this podcast became a podcast on steroids. We're streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network across multiple platforms with a global subscriber reach of 150 million people. Now, I find that funny, and I don't have that kind of juice to manifest that kind of thing. So I would say, for my little humble seed idea, this is a great opportunity for us to share what we do, share our message. And I'm sorry if you hear a dog snoring or barking in the background. You're going to hear a dog snoring, and she's dreaming right now. So no apologies for that. She's equivalent of 112 years old, so she can do whatever she wants. But it really is truly a quite surreal experience, and it just shows the power of group work, group energy, following simple instructions, doing your work, doing your inner work, doing your Kriya Shaktis, tithing, service, and all these things that we do. So, but before I go on further, I really need to answer an important question, one that keeps coming up. My production team, the engineers, what is an ashram? What is an ashram? So by definition, an ashram is a secluded dwelling of a Hindu sage. Now, I'm no Hindu sage, that's for sure. It's also defined as the group of disciples instructed there. I am a disciple. I love attending workshops. I love the community, and so I love it. I was just at the ashram in Bovina last week. And there's so many people that are there in this workshop who are working so hard as well to promote pranic healing as a profession. And I'm going to be introducing many of them to you as we move along in the series. As an example, some of the members of the pranic healing as a profession team that were there, my dear soul sister friend, Cynthia Holland, she runs Pranic Connect. And she's also on the board of directors of the American Pranic Healing Association. So Pranic Connect is a concierge service / help desk to help answer pranic healing questions connected to the American Pranic Healing Association and the Business Development Accelerator, and I'll explain that. So Jenny Lai, she runs the Business Development Accelerator program. And that's a program designed to jumpstart your professional healing career. They are well underway with their first batch of cohorts in the program, and I just congratulate them on their successful launch. And these three entities that were created, the Pranic Connect, American Pranic Healing Association, and the Business Development Accelerator program, came out of a seed idea. I don't know. I think Jenny might have been in part of that seed idea, but I'm not sure. But I'll definitely find out when I get her on the program. But this whole effort was led tirelessly by Master Glenn, and with the help of hundreds of volunteers over the past couple of years. These three entities are the result of all that hard work by so many people, and it forms the components of the pranic healing as a profession, and it is group work to its finest. And I just want to do a little plug for the American Pranic Healing Association that Master Glenn did a members talk for the members on group work. And it was beautiful and it was fantastic. And the video can be found at pranichealing.us for anybody listening that's not a member yet. The talk itself is worth the rate of the membership. It really is. So, sorry, I digressed again. But final definition of an ashram, it's also defined as a religious or spiritual retreat. And I like to think of this hour as a brief retreat, a pause at the end of the work week and before I embark or we embark on the weekend. I love being at the ashram in Bovina, New York. I get there a couple of times a year. I've been fortunate enough to be there for a spiritual vacation, which is a 9-day vacation, and then the Kriya Shakti weekend. Just really amazing times. And that's where I draw my inspiration from, and that's the name of the show. A lot of the people that we're going to talk to, I have hung out with at the ashram in Bovina. So that's the inspiration. So I told you who I am now, who I've become. Now I'm going to tell you who I used to be and how I came to be doing pranic healing or Hatha yoga. This just goes more to my backstory as your host. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on pranic healing, which is a non-touch energy healing modality. I'll go into a little bit of detail on what it takes to become a practitioner of Hatha yoga. But first, who was I before I had this transformation of aligning with my inner purpose and just finding my inner peace? I guess I just start about what people find most interesting about me when they first meet me is the fact that I grew up as a Catholic, although I was always into metaphysical studies. Unknown to anyone, I had a spiritual awakening about 15, 16 years old, and I can't even begin to express what that is, but the inundation and the bombardment of the thought forms and feelings and energies, and you don't even understand what's happening, and it's just so difficult, and it was so out of control. But it just made me have a lifetime of searching and trying to improve and find the meaning and working with energy. I mean, I knew about energy, but it was such a long process. Another thing that people surprised, I have an engineering degree and I worked on the space shuttle program right out of college. I was involved in this first mission after the Challenger disaster. I mean, that was really cool. I got to see the Apollo capsules that were in the factory. I got to meet old timers that were working on the Apollo program, got to meet astronauts. I got to walk around in the crew module of the Endeavour spacecraft as it was being manufactured in our facility. So that was pretty cool, and it was an iconic project to be a part of. I spent 30 years in the elevator business. I worked in cities of Los Angeles, San Francisco, Philadelphia, and New York City. I was a project manager for the elevator modernization at the Empire State Building. At the time, and I'm not sure if it still is, it was the largest, most complicated project in the history of the Otis Elevator Company. Roughly 5 years ago, I was living a life completely out of balance. My second marriage was failing. I was commuting 4 hours a day from PA, Philly to New York City. My work stress was high. It was overloaded. My relationship with my kids were damaged. My health was bad. Uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. Nothing was going well. It was a 10 out of 10 on the dysfunctional level, with basically everybody bringing their A game to that party. And like a lot of people, I came and found pranic healing and Hatha yoga when I came to my crossroads. And that set me on the path that I am today. And now I'll explain further. How did I find pranic healing? Well, I started studying Reiki in 2018. My wife was having treatment for cancer. And there were brochures for Reiki at the hospital, this cancer hospital, and for volunteering to work on the cancer patients. And I said, oh my gosh, this is really going mainstream. This is awesome. Like I said, my marriage was in trouble. I hadn't spoken to my daughter in 3 years. My son moved out. It was a horrible time. And that's not the worst of it, but I'm going to have to tell you the rest of the story. It's time to take another short commercial break. So I am your host, Bob Kolazarik, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network, and I'll tell you the rest of that story when we return.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. I'm Bob Kolazaric, your host, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Right before the break, I was starting to get into how I found pranic healing. My marriage was in trouble, I was telling you. I hadn't spoken to my daughter in 3 years. I didn't see her or talk to her, and you can imagine, how difficult and, how bad things are if you can't see your daughter in 3 years. My son moved out as well in 2018. He was struggling like I was. I didn't have the answers. He was suicidal. He had suicidal thoughts. He was in a really dark place. I didn't know how to help him. So Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within event came up to North Jersey. He was up in Jersey. I was still down in Philly. So we attended. We went together just looking for the answers, how we can help each other, So we walked on the hot coals, we firewalked together, we played full out, and it was a powerful, powerful change, life-changing event. They said, it'll change your life, and it did. My life changed that day. I don't realize to the extent of how it changed that day, but that's when I discovered pranic healing. Master Co was a presenter there on the last day, and I could relate to him. He grew up Catholic like I did. He has an engineering degree like I do, and I was hooked on day one. And he sent out a text on the meditation on twin hearts, which is a very powerful meditation. It's based on the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. And we'll need to spend much more time on meditation on twin hearts later. It's the signature meditation for pranic healers, and it's one that I try to do every day, and it's one that I think everyone should do. I had a very powerful first time when I did it alone. When I got back from the UPW, it was about 11 o'clock at night, and it was just so different from Reiki. Reiki, I don't know, you have intentions on symbols. I don't really fully understand it. I could never really get my head wrapped around the symbol aspects. I mean, no disrespect to any Reiki people, but it didn't resonate with me personally. But the invocation resonated with me. And I like to just tell you what the invocation was. And it's Friday, so just bear with me for a second and just do this exercise with me. But if you're driving and listening on the radio, do not do this exercise, but just take a second. And life is experiential, so I'm going to trust that you're doing this. I can't see you, but I can feel you. And some of you aren't, they're not sure, but here we go. So just breathe in slowly through your nose, okay? And hold. And exhale slowly. hold. All right, everybody can do it. Inhale slowly. Hold. Exhale slowly and hold. Focus on your heart and do that a couple times. Focus on your breathing and focus on your heart. What's going to happen is your brain's going to start, your thoughts are going to slow down. When you focus on your breath and you focus on your heart, you can start creating that space. You start creating stillness and awareness. And that is really what we want to try to cultivate. But when you're in that space, and then just reverently say to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, I humbly invoke for your divine light, your divine love, your divine mercy, your divine help, divine guidance, divine protection. And that was a powerful invocation for me. And then we'd go further in the invocation, and we invoke a lot. And we really bring in that divine energy and just take a moment, try to feel and connect with it. We invoke to our spiritual teachers. I invoke to Master Choka Tsui. Some people aren't receptive to that. They can, you can invoke to Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, whomever you want. It's a spiritual, and it's spiritual for you, and that's between you and God. But the main thing is we all have a belief in the Supreme Being. But we invoke to spiritual helpers, healing angels, healing ministers, gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and things like that. But it's very powerful. It was a very, very powerful experience. It was so powerful. The energy that was coming out of my hands was amazing. I never really felt anything like that in my life. I was up until 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. I did it about 11 p.m. and I wrote my mission statement. I'm coming out of the UPW, we're focused on our vision, we're focused on our goals, and that mission statement is still essentially the same as it is today. And just so you know, the twin hearts is your heart chakra and your crown chakras. Earthly heart, universal heart, love of all beings, from the universal heart and universal crown chakra. But we'll circle back on meditation at twin hearts. It's, like I said, the signature meditation of pranic healing, and it's one I do every day. But coming out of UPW, I couldn't find a basic workshop fast enough, and I really wanted to make an effort on my relationship. I just 30 days of just unconditional love, no expectations, just trying to be the best person I could be, working on the relationship. My son was back with us. He moved back in January of 2019, very delicate state, just still emotionally distraught. He was back only a couple of weeks when my wife sued me to have him removed from the home, even with his emotional situation at that point. I tried to reason with her. I tried to explain to her that my nephew had committed suicide a few years earlier on Father's Day. I mean, think about how devastating that is if you're the father, and how serious that I'm trying to take this. And it was a serious situation. She didn't care, so she just crossed that line in the sand. And so we left. We left in January of 2019, and I took my first basic class in February of that year, February of 2019. Between the time that I moved out and take my basic workshop, my wife learned that she was dying. All right, pranic healers in the audience, we'll just sweep that away. Like I said, I'm a pranic psychotherapist, but yeah, she was dying, given 2 years to live. She begged me to stay, and I could look in the fear in her eyes. And I had to look at her and just say, no, I'm not going to be there for you. That's hard. The choice was actually easy. She crossed that line, but it's gut-wrenching at the same time. There's karma in that. If she would have treated my son with the level of love and compassion and understanding, she would have gotten that back from me in spades. But There was just a massive shutdown and disconnect, but I had to wrestle with that decision. And, luckily I had started the pranic healing journey, and Kim Sire came to the call. That's what I met my bestie, Kim. And the healing that she did on me just created such a well-being and calm, and just really helped me stay the course. And then she just became a great mentor and friend, and guided me to become a Arhonic yoga practitioner back in 2019. And I'm just eternally grateful for her. And I do use that word specifically, eternally. And during this time of the healing that I went through, the certifications and life coaching, all the exercises and the Arhonic yoga, and it was just a really deep dive into myself. And we learn our triggers, we learn our self-sabotaging behaviors, we learn old traumas, our old programs. For example, I had to get rid of some old programs quickly just in order to do this show. I was saying back when I was an engineer at Rockwell on the space shuttle program, I had an opportunity to work on the International Space Station, and I didn't do it. I was like, I don't think I'm good enough. There's better engineers than me. That whole thing, that negative self-talk, that we talk ourselves out of doing things instead of just going for it. If they were asking me, they probably thought I was suited for the job, right? But that is an old program up until doing this show. It's like, I don't know anything about hosting the show. I'm not good enough. There's better people out there than me. There's better healers. There's better, smarter people, blah, blah, blah. So you have that old programs. We all have them. So I did turn this down a few times during our meeting, but, God bless them. And they see something in me that I don't see in myself. So I'm going to give a little confidence and faith in what people see to me, and I'm going to stay out of my own head. So, but yeah, my old program, I had to keep my spirituality to myself. I never liked sharing anything. I mentioned Kim. She'll tell you I've been wrestling with this since I heard about this opportunity 3 months ago. You have that imposter syndrome. Why me? Much better people out there. Who am I? I'm also quite the introvert, honestly. But not only do we learn to recognize the programs and all those self-sabotaging behaviors, but we also learn how to heal and get rid of them. And that's huge. So when COVID hit, I'd been in pranic healing for about a year. And on March 13th, the day of the lockdown, Master Glenn started a 7-night global meditation on Twin Hearts to lessen the fear and provide comfort to the community. And, it was great. It's working every night. That turned into 100 straight nights of meditation led by Master Glenn. It was amazing. Personally, I was going into New York City pretty regularly during the pandemic, when people were dying at $1,000 people a day. Parking lots were empty. The city was empty. I mean, I didn't really have fear. I was cautious, but I didn't have fear. Also at that time, Master Glenn called his senior team together and put together a protocol on how to deal with the coronavirus, how it is affecting the energy body. And he set up pods, healing pods, groups of people from all over the world to heal, critically ill COVID patients. And that went on for 2 years. I mean, some of the pods are still going. I've been healing, still co-leading a healing pod through today. But the healing pods evolved as a great opportunity for new healers to join, to group practice, to practice with experienced practitioners. And it's really a great opportunity for people to get to know fellow pranic healers. Community, that's we're big on community. So that was a blessing for me during COVID. It's the opportunity to do service, strengthen my healing skills under a mentor, become part of a beautiful community of like-minded people, pranic healers, and yogis. And it formed the foundation for me to become a professional pranic healer. And there's such a beautiful structure in it, and there's so many of us, we took advantage of working in these healing pods and the opportunities to do the certification program. So, there are many of us, we did the associate certified pranic healing program together. I finished that in 2021. And prerequisites is to take the basic workshop, advanced workshop, and psychotherapy workshop. Requirements include you have to complete and document 25 cases, documented improvement by the client. And these are approved by the mentors. There's a final exam and text module work that you have to do too. And then there's a certified pranic healer. Most of us went on to do the next level of certification in 2022. And the prerequisites for that was to do the associate certified pranic healing, pranic crystal healing workshop. I just heal with crystals all the time. I mean, this is one of my favorite healing crystals right here. And then I have nice extractors that I use. Different tools for different things, but pranic crystal healing is amazing. And then the psychic self-defense workshop, 100% recommended for everyone. But that's it for right now. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the other certification programs. It's time to take another short commercial break. I'm Bob Kolazarik. You're watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am your host, Bob Kolazarik, and you are watching Greetings from the Ashram, streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Before the break, I was just kind of rolling through some of the certifications that I've done, just to let you know who I am. So I talked about the Associate Certified Pranic Healing Program. Then the next level is a Certified Pranic Healing, and then the level after that is the Certified Pranic Psychotherapy. And each of the Certified Pranic Healing and the Psychotherapy certification classes, it requires 50 healing cases and 50 documented healing cases, like I said. So they're proven. They're difficult, these certification programs. They are no joke. And all certifications are signed off by Master Glenn. Master Glenn Mendoza, MD, if I hadn't made that, I don't know if I said that, but Master Glenn is a medical doctor, and he oversees these programs. And they're also signed off by the Institute of Inner Studies, which is located in the Philippines. So I told you who I am and who I was, and so just allow me to share a little bit about pranic healing. Pranic healing is a holistic system of energy healing, and it aims to harmonize the body's energy centers or chakras and aura. Our energy body interpenetrates the physical body, so it's kind of inside and outside, like a sponge in water. You got water inside the sponge and water outside the sponge kind of thing. But disruptions and imbalances in the energies field, our energy centers, that will lead to physical and or emotional ailments over time. So what is pranic healing? It's an ancient science and art of healing that utilizes prana or chi or life energy to heal the whole physical body. It involves the manipulation of the chi and the bioplasm matter of the patient's or client's the body. The prana or chi is that life energy which keeps the body alive and healthy. And pranic healing is based on two laws. The law of self-recovery. In general, the body is capable of healing itself. It heals at its own rate, at a certain rate. And if a person has a wound, it will generally heal over time. Second law is the law of life energy. For life to exist, the body must have the prana, the chi, or the life force. The healing process can be accelerated by increasing this prana and chi or life force, on the affected parts or on the entire body. And this information can be found in the book Miracles Through Pranic Healing by Master Choakaksui. And the book is the basis for the basic pranic healing workshop. So please reach out if you're interested in attending any kind of intro to pranic healing or interested in a workshop. And I will do my best to connect you with the person, or you can find somebody in your area. But, if you reached out, I can help you find somebody who teaches. Arhatic yoga. Arhat is a word that means saint. Yoga means union. So Arhatic yoga is a synthesis of yogas. It's a practice designed to help one on the spiritual path to achieve more oneness with their higher soul. There's 5 pillars of Arhatic yoga. One is devotion to the Supreme Being, in reverence to the spiritual teacher. Purifications, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Meditations, tithing, and service. Tithing is important. I think most major religions talk about tithing. We reap what we sow. It's the giving that we receive. We can tithe. Law of karma, we start sprinkling seeds of prosperity for ourselves. It's not in receiving we give, it's in giving that we receive. So, and then there's continued study. The practice of purification is Arhatic yoga, just to give you a little bit of background, includes character building, and strengthening virtues. So there's a yin and yang to the character building. We practice loving kindness and non-injury, generosity and non-stealing, honesty and non-lying, constancy of aim and effort, non-laziness, and moderation and non-excessiveness. Yang is the masculine, yin is the passive, loving kindness is active, non-injury is passive, feminine energy. So that's the work we do. We really try to strive to be better people and to do a lot of this work. And there's different techniques and things that we do as well. We'll be taking a deeper dive into Arhatic yoga at some point, but not today. So that's my background as the host. To recap a little, my kids are doing great. Our relationships have greatly improved. They are in healthy relationships of their own. I have transformed physically and spiritually. I've lost 50 pounds. I've become a much kinder person. I've discovered my purpose in my life's work, and I love what I'm doing right now. But as we move forward with the series, it's my intention to bring awareness to other modalities such as meditation, aromatherapy, things along that line. There's a lot to digest out there. We'll explore topics such as the laws of karma, Kriya Shakti, manifestation. I want to talk about how life aligns and unfolds, to talk about ancient teachings, shamanism, Native Americans, esoteric astrology. Master Glenn did 2 workshops on esoteric astrology. It really kind of blew my mind. It was fantastic. It was so right on. But that's all I really have time for today. It's gone fast. There was so much more I wanted to cover. But next week, we'll be visiting with my team from the American Pranic Healing Association. So I'm looking forward to meeting them. So that's going to be it for me today. A fast hour. Thank you so much for listening and learning a little bit about me. Just remember, I'm your host, Bob Kolazarek. This is Greetings from the Ashram, and we've been streaming live on the Bold Brave TV network. Thank you for tuning in. Namaste, everyone.
This has been Greetings from the Ashram with host Bob Kolazarek. Through meaningful conversations and practical insights, this show invites you to explore the endless possibilities for personal growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. Tune in each week to discover how these practices can bring balance and harmony to your life, making it a true journey of self-discovery. Fridays, 7 p.m. on the Bold Brave TV network.